you ready? Oh, I don't have my chef hat. Ah, what am I supposed to do? I don't have my chef hat. Well, welcome everybody to day 5 of our cooking challenge. There's my chef hat. I don't want to get hair in the food, you know. Welcome to day 5 of our cooking challenge, and we are doing fajita salad today, which I'm very excited about. You could substitute the chicken for shrimp. You could substitute it for steak. You could even substitute it for just more veggies if you want. Really good substitute to give you kind of that meat feel if you're not a meat eater is like those big mushrooms, you know, like the big mushroom caps, slicing them up into like strip size, strips. That is going to give you a really good flavor. The mushrooms tend to really give you kind of that meat type texture and flavor, so good replacement there. This show has been brought to you by Zevia, not really, ginger root beer, excuse me. We just ordered in a huge shipment of Zevia that'll be in probably within sometime this week. There's new kids flavors, there's this. We are open for pickups, so you can order Zevia and you can pick it up at our New Lenox location or our Schaumburg location. We also do have shipping on and free shipping on any orders over $100 or more. If you are joining me right now, do me a big favor, give me a hashtag number 1. Let me know where you're listening from. If you join later as the recording, give me a hashtag number 2. Let me know where you're listening from, and most importantly, and awesomenessly, if that's a word, give me a hashtag number 3 if you're going to be cooking with me today. We've got a lot of exciting things that we're going to talk about today. And I want to show you, to start with, a really fun and easy way to make chips. So there's lots of different ways to make chips, and we're going to go through a couple here and let you guys see this. So first of all, cucumbers make amazing chips for several different reasons. And what I want you to do, and this is, I have my cubed cucumber. So you can see that here, the cubed cucumber, and that is to put in with our fajita. But what I want us to do here is go ahead and just cut a few cucumbers up. These are going to serve as our chips. Make sure you say hi if you're joining me, Paulina, in a few minutes. I'll be reading some comments, seeing who all is on today. I have a good group of you join for our motivational moment, which I really appreciate all of you taking the time on your Sunday to come and join me. Okay, so what we're going to do is, we're going to make the seasoning for our chips. Okay, so nutritional yeast is the key. I'm going to use quite a bit of nutritional yeast. All right, so you can see about how much I'm using there. Quite a bit of nutritional yeast, and then I'm going to use I could either use barbecue seasoning, sweet and hot Louisiana seasoning, or taco seasoning, which I have over here, Southwest seasoning. All of these are available at our office. Since we are doing a Mexican-inspired dish, I'm going to go ahead and put some of the Southwest seasoning in. All right, sprinkle that in here. All right, so you can see about the ratio, and then I'm going to mix that up. All right, mix it in really good. I'm going to put just a little pinch of the pink salt. Okay, just like so. Mix that in a little bit. And then I'm going to try it. All right, so let's try this here. All right. It should remind you of a Dorito. Okay, so we went with the Southwest seasoning. It's kind of like a taco seasoning. We'll be using this later. You could have done the sweet and hot Louisiana, which gives another great flavoring, or the barbecue if you want to go with a barbecue chip. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our cucumber and we're going to pat it on each side, just like so. So you can see we get a nice little coating. The wetness of the cucumber makes it padded just like this. And then we just eat it. Oh, super, super, super good. I'm going to make one for our camera lady here. Because she always wants to try
Now I'm the camera lady?
She's the camera lady. All right, camera lady.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How is it? Good?
Really good.
Very good. All right. So the other thing you can do then is check this out. So also, I have salsa here. All right. So I'm going to take my cucumber, pat it in the nutritional yeast. That's great. I can see it on this thing right here.
Very good.
And then I'm gonna dip some in the salsa. I'm gonna get some of that. I want to get that chunk. Got to get that chunk of tomato right there. Ah, there we go. Perfect. All right. So now I have chips and salsa. Lose it stage approved. Oh yeah. You know, when you're coming home, your motivation is and your willpower is lowest at the end of the day. So what we tend to do if we come home at the end of the day, now some of you are just stuck at home, so I understand that, but when we come home at the end of the day, we're hungry, we tend to grab something fast and easy. That tends to be like chips or a candy bar or something like that. Look at how easy it is to chop that up, throw in the nutritional yeast, and you've got chips. You can mindlessly eat this while you are watching TV. And think about it. With something like this, you're getting all your B vitamins in, and a whole cucumber, this is a half a cucumber here, but a whole cucumber is only 30 calories. That's it. And this is practically none. And salsa is the same thing, practically none. So you could literally be sitting there watching, binge watching your favorite Netflix show and eating this, and it wouldn't be a problem. So what we need to find is healthier ways to be able to snack, and this is a great way to snack. And if you don't even want to take the time to cut up your cucumber, check this out. All you have to do is dip it in like this and eat it. That's it.
Sorry.
See? I don't have to take the time to cut this, and it's still a tasty treat.
That's really funny. But it
All right.
works.
It works. So, really good ways to stack. I wanted to show you that. Dip in the salsa. I could take a spoonful of salsa here. There we go. Spoonful of salsa. That's great. So, some clever ways for you guys to get some healthier snacks in. And there's no reason why not to have some healthy snacks. All right.
So would you like
What do we got going on for some comments?
Yeah, we got Jane says that she has tried this and it's awesome.
All right, Jane. Very good.
Abby said, what a great idea to do live cooking. It's
Well, thanks for joining us, Abby.
It's challenging for me to think of food options. This is amazing. Thank you.
Great. Glad to have you joining us today, Abby.
Katie saying hi, Davis. Katie Hart.
Hi, Kathy Hartkey?
Katie.
Hartkey?
Yeah.
Hey, great to have you, Katie. Wonderful.
Kathleen is cooking with us.
All right, Kathleen.
Awesome. People are watching live. And 3 is for cooking with us, right?
Yes, 3 is for cooking with us.
Trudy,
Trudy's
Nina.
cooking. Nina's cooking with us. Awesome.
And then Julie commented, nice catch.
Nice catch.
for the hat, remember, Julie? All right.
Okay, well, we're going to keep going here. I wanted to show you another thing that, another tip here, and I've gotten this question a couple times. So let's say you your food is too hot, too spicy. Maybe you put a little too much of this Davis Heat sauce in there, and your food is too spicy. All right, so what do you do when your food's too spicy? You can do a couple things. Like if we're doing a soup, like the cabbage soup that we did last night, the baby cabbage, you can add more broth. You could add more water as well, and that's going to dilute it a little bit. You could also add more stuff to it, like more cabbage. You know, it's going to soak up some of the heat. More of the broccoli stalks will soak up some of the heat. But another really cool thing, and if you have this, I want you to, if you have this, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and grab this right now. I want you to grab some lemon or lime juice if you have some. So I'm going to give you a minute to do that. And then I want you to grab a jalapeno. So, you know, we have diced jalapenos today for our fajita salad that we're making, but I'd like you to go ahead and get 2 this size approximately de-seeded jalapenos. Okay, so jalapenos aren't super hot, but they do have a little bit of spice to them. So let me give everybody a minute to go ahead and collect those. And while that's happening, so we can keep everything going, I'm going to prepare my chicken. Now, with my chicken, I want to try, just to be healthier, I'm going to try to cut off all the visible fat. So I'm going to be working on cutting off the visible fat, but you, if you're listening right now, do me a favor, grab a jalapeno and go ahead and get it prepped if you don't have it prepped, and grab some lemon juice, because if you can participate with me, this will be really, really, really fun and cool. And it's also going to just be a really helpful principle even if you don't do it with me right now, it's going to be a really helpful principle as you're cooking. Because, you know, especially if you're cooking for other people and you try your dish and it's all of a sudden you're like, oh, I love it, but it's going to kill everybody else, right? So, anyway, you want to make sure that it's not too hot. You know, and the other thing is, just to keep in mind, I don't know if you've heard the old statement, if it burns going in, it's going to burn coming out. That's good. All right. All right, so hopefully you've had a chance to go ahead and gather that. I'm going to wash my hands real quick because I did just cut chicken, so make sure that you, between handling raw meat and going back to your vegetables, you wash your hands.
Bonnie is also cooking along.
All right, Bonnie. Welcome, Bonnie. And then also make sure that you get rid of your utensil that you cut your meat with and anything that was sitting on there. That's where you can get the, you know, if the meat has salmonella in it, then you could get salmonella if you then put it on something else. So not all meat has salmonella, but it is wise to go ahead and be careful and not try to mix those. Okay, so I'm going to set my meat aside here for a moment. And let's come back here. And we've got in here, I put just some lime juice. You could use lemon juice, but I did do some lime juice here. All right. And then here is our 2 peppers. So I'm going to put 1 pepper in the lime juice and just let it sit there for a minute. And then I'm going to eat this pepper. And I'm going to have Paulina do this with me. So I'm going to cut this in half, okay? All right, so Paulina, why don't you come over here?
Oh my goodness, I'm going to be a part of this.
She's going to be part of this.
Alright. Just making sure my cameras are working.
How's our sound today, everybody? If the sound is a lot better today, let us know, okay? All right, so let's try this together.
Really spicy.
It's not going to be that bad. And it's going to taste at first like a green pepper, and then you get a little bit of kick, but it's not too much.
Just kidding.
You got the little kick?
Yeah.
But it's not too bad.
Just a little. Just kidding. I'm fine.
Okay.
You guys can eat
But
it.
try it right now, okay? So you got that. Let your mouth have a second. Maybe take a drink of something. You don't like root beer, do you?
I haven't tried the ZDI root beer. I personally don't like root beer. So I don't know why I would like this one.
Maybe because it's ginger root beer. How is it?
Not bad.
Not bad.
It's good. Yeah.
Don't drink my root beer. Okay.
It's like
All right.
the only flavor that stays in my house.
Yeah.
I drink everything else.
So now I'm going to take out of the lime juice, I'm going to take the jalapeno. This is just the principle. So if you're trying to cut down heat, you need to cut it down with an acid. Because heat is very basic. So this is a pH issue. So when we think through that, something else that may be acid balsamic vinegar, apple cider vinegar, regular vinegar, that's going to cut down the hotness. Because hotness is a very basic pH and we're trying to move it more acidic. So now try it. And you're going to taste the lemon juice. It's very lemony. But no heat.
Yeah, not hot at all.
Not hot at all.
It's delicious.
There we go. All right, so you guys learned something. So if you have a dish that's too hot, add more liquid to it, add some lime or lemon juice to it, add some balsamic vinegar or regular vinegar to it, and you really will cut the heat out if you accidentally make it too hot for you or your guests. Okay, so we're going to, I have quite a bit of extra chicken here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into strips. This is 16 ounces of chicken. I'm only using 4 for today, but I want to show you, we're going to use a rub today. And I'm going to show you how to make a rub. And we're going to cut the chicken into strips. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all of the chicken, even though I'm only using a portion of the chicken. Okay, so we're just going to think fajita. Okay, so we'll get these nice fajita strips here. It's like so. And then I, like, just as a personal, like, pet peeve, I don't like my strips too terribly long. Like, this is pretty much perfect for me, this length. So I'm just going to cut all of these in half, besides that one. That's going to give me nice consistency and a good bite size. I don't like super, super, super long chicken. While I have the chicken out, so I can maximize my time, I'm going to go ahead and just cut up the rest of it in the same size. And that way it'll be usable for later. And I'm going to go ahead and grill up the whole chicken, but I'm not going to do it all at once because I don't want it all seasoned the same way. So after I'm done cooking here with you guys, I'm going to season up the chicken separately. We're going to get some comments coming in here.
Yeah, people are saying that sound is good.
Sound is good today. All right, that's great to know. We may even get crazy and try a microphone one of these times.
Ooh, we actually have to buy a microphone.
We have to buy a microphone, yeah. So you guys buy more stuff from our web store, then we'll buy a microphone. Yeah, buy more stuff from the web store, then we'll buy a microphone. So your viewing experience and listening experience can be a little better.
I'm giving you a little behind the scenes.
A little behind the scenes.
As you're cutting up the chicken.
All right. So our chicken is cut up. I'm going to just kind of set that to the side here. And then we're going to create, again, good idea to wash your hands at this time. So give your hands a quick wash if you're following along here with me. I also, just from a practical standpoint, I'll tell you a couple things I have for setup. This is my dish rag. So this is for like drying dishes. I have that over one shoulder. And then this is kind of like the dirty rag. I have that for all sorts of things. But this is what I'll use to dry my hands, what I'll use to dry dishes on, but it doesn't get contaminated. I also have two small rags. I have a wet rag and a dry rag. This is great for wiping surfaces, wiping a knife off, and then you dry the surface afterwards, so I always have those ready. And then I have this rag, and this is just kind of for any sort of wiping. I get a little bit of things on my fingers, so I can wipe it on here rather than my apron. My apron is just kind of like collateral damage. Okay, so just as I'm going through things, that's kind of the collateral damage keeper there. So I don't try to wipe my hands on my apron, okay? So just a couple things that I found work really well for me. And maybe share your tips, whatever you have found that works well for you, because we all have our own little setup. So share below, because as we're learning to cook together, the more we share with each other, the more we'll be able to learn from each other. So to create a rub, when I'm doing a rub, there's a base that I need. Like the primary thing, which is going to be our nutritional yeast. So when I'm looking at doing a rub here, I'm going to add a lot of nutritional yeast. And when I say a lot, somewhere about like that. You can see like in relation to my hand, I would say that this is probably like, I don't know, maybe a fourth of a cup. Probably a fourth of a cup of nutritional yeast.
Are you going to measure it out?
I can measure it out so we can put it in order, yeah. This is for all of you people that must have things measured. This is for you.
I'm one of those people.
This measurement is for you. Oh man, I'm making a mess. I would say it's about a fourth of a cup, because I kind of dumped some of it out. So dump some of it out, but yeah, it's about a fourth of a cup. The nice thing is, since this is going to be a rub, I am going to go ahead and use this, because this is going to go on our chicken. So I'm going to scrape this in here so we don't waste it. Okay. Then I have a couple other things that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using my next most predominant thing is going to be a taco seasoning. So you can use any taco seasoning. This one's already pre-mixed. You want to make sure that your taco seasoning, a lot of times they add sugar into taco seasoning, so you can make your own. Just Google search taco seasoning, or you can buy one from our website and help us buy a microphone. I'm going to be giving that microphone plug the entire time.
I think that's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Oh, I think Susan Walker wrote, do you need a GoFundMe page?
Yeah, we probably will need a GoFundMe page here. GoFundMe, buy a microphone. All right, so you can see here, so my secondary ingredient, when I'm doing a rub, my secondary ingredient is the ingredient that I want the most taste to come through as. So when I'm doing something with fajitas or tacos, then I want my second most ingredient to be tacos. So I would guess that this is about a half a teaspoon of taco seasoning. I don't know if I have that in there. And let's see about the paprika. I'm measuring this one out here. So paprika is kind of our accent. Okay, so we have our base. So again, this is a principle with creating rubs. Okay, so you can do a lot of different types of rubs. So for this rub, we are putting our base as the nutritional yeast. Then the most dominant flavor we want is something to taste like tacos, so we use a taco seasoning. And then to add into it, we're going to use the paprika and the cayenne pepper. The cayenne pepper is what's going to add our heat, so you're going to kind of base it upon how hot you want it. For our paprika, I'm going to do a fourth of a teaspoon. All right, so a fourth of a teaspoon, so it should look about like that in there. And that looks about right. And for the cayenne pepper, I'm also going to do a fourth of a teaspoon. If you aren't a hot person, which has nothing to do with your looks, if you do not like spicy food, let's put it that way. All right, if you don't like spicy food, then I would recommend using a little bit less, but I love spicy food, so I'm going to go ahead and use a fourth of a teaspoon of the cayenne pepper. You could also use crushed red pepper flakes if you don't have cayenne pepper. If you don't have paprika, you could substitute that for cumin. However, if you don't have paprika, you need to get paprika. Okay, I would just really recommend having that in your repertoire. Cayenne pepper, not necessarily a staple, but you could also substitute that for chili powder. It's a little bit different, but it's still going to help you get the kick or the flavor enhance that we're looking for. All right. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to mix all of that together here. So we got it well mixed. Okay, and then we want to try it. Okay. We want it to be. Oh, I'm going to also add a pinch of the pink salt in there. So just a pinch of our pink salt. Add that in there. And then let's give this a try. Okay. Oh, you know, it's not even, I don't even think it's too hot at all. I'm getting a little, oh no, there it is. Getting a little bit, that's not, I'm going to try. The lovely assistant trying here.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Good?
I feel the kick.
You feel the kick, but it takes a minute. But it's not too much.
Yes, it tastes really good. But I do feel the kick.
You do feel the kick, so cut that down a little bit. Or, okay, now that you've learned a couple principles, you could put some lemon juice in the pan if it's too much for you, or add some more of your base, like your nutritional yeast. You could add some cumin in there. The cumin's going to cool it down a little bit. You can put a splash of vinegar when we go to cook up the chicken. All right, so since I'm only doing one serving, I'm going to do 4 ounces of the chicken, which is this amount right here. I'm going to cook this up, but I'm going to just do that later. So that'll get cooked up later, so I can cook it all up. I unfroze all this chicken. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat the chicken in the seasoning. This is called a rub. This is just going to add so much flavor to what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my pan now. I have a big pan, so if you want to look at this, this is a big pan. All right, so here we go. I'll hold this up so you can see this. Okay, big pan, and it's also deep. All right, so you can see that big pan, it's deep. You want it to be both, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get some heat going on that pan, and then I'm going to put a splash of my Bragg's liquid aminos in there. And then I'm also going to put some vegetable broth in there, but I don't want to get too much. Okay, again, I can't cook with oil, so if you're not on our lose it stage, you can cook with oil. But again, I'm just trying to fill the bottom as I heat up my pan a little bit. And that's going to keep things from sticking.
So, for those people who haven't never done the program.
Yeah, so if you have never done the VitaLife program, the really cool thing is we are able to, through your diet, through the nutrition that we're giving you, and through customized food plans for what your body says it needs from our bioscans. All right, I've got some heat going here. Right now, you should have some steam rolling off. Make sure it moves around so you don't burn that oil. Okay, so our pan is now hot. I turned it all the way down to low. But what makes the VitaLife program great is you can cook like this. You learn the skills to stay healthy the rest of your life. And, let's just do this. If you have done the VitaLife program or are on the VitaLife program, let everyone know that's watching how much weight you lost in your first 40 days. That would be awesome. So just take a minute and post how much weight you lost during your first 40 days, and maybe then how much weight you've lost overall. But that first 40 days can be the most rewarding as far as weight loss, and then you can learn so much during that time. So just post when you have a minute there. Okay, I'm just about done coating my chicken. All right, so this is what our chicken all looks like, and now, so we cook everything at the same time. Now I'm going to kick my heat up to medium. But now that I'm ready to place everything in, I'm going to go ahead and place my chicken in. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. And I'm trying my best to keep the seasoning on the chicken. There we go, nice. And I'm trying my best to place the chicken in the liquid. Okay, so we got that going. Wash my hands. So while that's going, I have to tell you the story about a priest.
All right, before you do that.
Before the story about the priest, okay.
Let's read some comments.
All
People
right.
are being super interactive with us here. We can start off by Jane. She says, thank you for measuring. After all, we're supposed to keep track of our calories. And Bonnie's saying the same thing. Hard to keep our journals up without measuring for calories. So don't worry, ladies. I don't know how to cook without measuring stuff. So I need to have it measured. And Johnny's saying, tip, use Norwex Enviro cloth, and you could reduce all of your cloths to only one. I did own, I lost it. And
I had a Norwex towel that I have
yeah,
no idea
for
where
my
it is.
hair.
And they were awesome.
They were awesome. They
awesome.
just dried my hair in like an instant.
Yeah.
Took off all the water. It was so great. We gotta get some.
We do. Thank you. Good recommendation.
Yeah. All right. Katie's down 65 pounds.
65 pounds. Woohoo! All right,
19
Katie.
pounds for round one for Shamela.
Nice job, Samela. All right.
Jane, 20 in the first 40 days, and then 50 overall.
Great job, Jane. All right.
Mary Beth, down 32 pounds.
Nice job, Mary Beth.
Okay.
And, well, just a second. I'm going to go ahead right now just so everybody knows what's happening here.
Oh, yeah.
My chicken is just about done. I'm going to go ahead and add in our garlic, which is 1 clove of garlic minced, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add that in so that can start caramelizing. And then I'm also, you could, there's no wrong way to do this. So for instance, if you wanted to put mushrooms in, you could put mushrooms in this. If you whatever you want to put in, you can put in. That's what's fun about this. There's not like it has to be done this, excuse me, this way. I'm also going to go ahead and put the onion in. I'm going to put half of the onion I have here because half of it is going to be fresh. So a lot of what we did as far as preparing the sides for this, some of them are meant to be fresh and some of them are meant to be cooked. All right, so I'm going to cook about half of these onions, caramelize about half of these onions.
So it's somebody asked how much oil I missed out and what kind because we cut out for her.
Okay, got it. So if you're following exactly what I'm doing, I didn't use any oil. I used Bragg's liquid aminos and vegetable broth. But if you're going to cook with an oil, my recommendation is coconut oil. And you could just use like a tablespoon of coconut oil would work as well. Okay, because I want some fresh and some cooked, what you want to do too is rotate your chicken. So you want to be rotating the chicken around. So you kind of have to, because we're trying to keep the seasonings on the chicken, okay, we want to rotate the chicken rather than just trying to, move it. So these little tongs work really nice for that. So just sitting here rotating my chicken, making sure I get it cooked all the way through. And then we know the chicken is done. We're going to take, once we're ready, we'll take the thickest piece of chicken. I'm also going to just turn down my burner just a little bit because I'm starting to dry out, and then I'm just going to add a tiny bit more. You can see how it dries out. I'm going to just add a tiny bit more vegetable broth so I don't burn anything. If you want to taste something that's really not good, it's burnt Bragg's liquid aminos. So don't burn your Bragg's liquid aminos. Wow, we just had a behind the scenes near catastrophe and a catch, so that was great.
Nice catch, Paulina.
It was a great catch. All right, so we're cooking away here. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to add in half my cucumbers because again, half is going to be fresh, half is going to be part of our fajitas. So I'm going to add in my cucumbers. I'm going to add in some of my cilantro here. Okay. Mix that in, add some cilantro. There we go. I'm going to keep the tomatoes are going to be fresh, and now I'm going to add in my peppers here in just a moment. But let me check on our chicken. Okay, so let's take a.
Did you do a cup of cilantro or half a cup?
It was probably more of a quarter cup. The rest we're going to put fresh on the salad itself.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do a close up again. I've got a good piece, so I'm protecting us by putting down our new cutting board. And what I'm going to do here is go ahead and cut into our chicken to see if it's done. Okay, so I took the biggest piece we put in there, and this is just what you can do for peace of mind. Okay, and let's take a look there. Now, do you see how we still have just a touch of that off color there? So we need just a little bit more for this piece. And I want to show you, I'm going to go ahead and grab a thinner piece, so that way you can see the difference between that. So just grab the thinner piece here. I'm going to go ahead and cut into the thinner piece. All right, now so you see with this one, whoa, just about lost it there. You see with this one, we've got no pink or discoloration here at all. So you can see that. That's what we're looking for. So this piece is done. I'm going to go ahead and try this and let my assistant try this. Make sure you're staying aware. At this point in time, the coating is pretty good on there, so I'm going to go ahead and mix more robustly. So we know our chicken, we've got the big piece of chicken, still needs a little bit more time, but all of our other chicken is looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add in, again, we're doing some fresh, some cooked. I'm going to go ahead and add half of my jalapenos in. The other half I'll add to my salad. Okay, and let's go ahead and try the chicken. Okay. So here we go. It's so amazing. I know I say that, but if you were here with me and you were trying it, you would say the same thing. It's so amazing. Let's give it to our assistant here. Here you are, assistant. Is it so amazing?
It was really good.
See, I knew I wasn't lying to you. It's so amazing.
It's so juicy.
So juicy. Now I want to point out, it's so juicy. A lot of times we think that to get the juiciness in our meat, you have to cook with oil. It's not true. We didn't cook with oil, and we're plenty juicy. Now we're going to add in all of our peppers. Now I'm going to add in all of our peppers, and this is a lot of peppers, but I like a lot of peppers. So if you look at how many peppers that is a full red pepper, a full yellow pepper, and a full orange pepper. And then I'm just going to mix it all together. I went with the full. You're just going to go ahead and mix it all together. You could do less. Again, it's kind of up to you. When we're doing stuff like this, it's not like a right or wrong. So that's why it's fun to see you guys post your photos later and let me know kind of how your spin on it was, because that's really important. And you can see too, if you look here, you can see how the cilantro is sticking to the green peppers. That's such a great sign. We want to see that. And I'm going to go ahead too and use a little bit more of our seasoning. Remember, this has been exposed to raw meat. All right, so it's important that I'm putting this in a pan that's cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit. So in other words, I wouldn't want to add this at the end. I wouldn't want to use this as a finisher. But I'm going to go ahead and mix that in and cook this in really well. If you have a cover, which I don't think I have a cover for this one, but if you have a cover, it would be great to cover this, okay, as we get our peppers to cook down. And we want our peppers to be a nice thin consistency, or a nice cooked down consistency, so we should get some more water here, okay? All right, while that is doing its thing, let me tell you about the priest. So there was a priest, and he, is a good man, hardworking, and he had this guy come. And this guy came, and he was just like, I want a job, and I will do anything
Didn't you
for
say
a
this
job.
yesterday?
No, this was a joke that you heard yesterday.
Okay, sorry.
No, I didn't tell this joke yesterday.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, sorry guys.
Someone's interrupting the joke telling.
I'm sorry, what joke did you tell yesterday?
I haven't even started my comedy career. I already have hecklers in the crowd. So the priest, hardworking priest, this guy comes. He's like, hey, I'm going to put, by the way, a pinch of salt here as well. It's going to help draw out some of the moisture faster from the peppers. Okay, so salt draws out moisture. So do a little pinch of salt. He's like, I really want to work. I don't want your charity. And the priest's like, hey, look, we'll give you some money. I'll buy you a meal. And the guy's like, no, look, I'm a hard worker. I want to work. The reason that the priest didn't know what to do is the guy didn't have any arms. And he just didn't know what the guy could do. He's like, I don't really know. He said, so the priest sent him home. He said, hey, let me talk to some of my priestly friends, and let me see what we can figure out. So he did. He talked to his priestly friends, and the only thing that they could figure out is he could ring the bell for the church, maybe. So the guy came back the next day, and sure enough, the priest was like, hey, if you can figure out some way, every hour, we need somebody to ring the bell for what time it is. So if it's 1 o'clock, we need that bell rung once. If it's 12 o'clock, we need it rung 12 times. And you can't be missed. And this bell ringing is so important in our city. We are known for having our bell ring. So the guy said, I can do anything. I can ring your bell. So he's like, all right, well, you're going to need to show me. So they went up to the bell tower, and they looked at it. And this guy, he backed up, and he ran as fast as he could at the bell, and he slammed his face right into the bell. And sure enough, the bell swung, and it rang. And the priest was like, wow, I'm so impressed, but you know, we're really known for having a really loud bell, and we just need a little more noise to that bell. Can you do an even better job? So this poor guy, no arms, he backs up even further, runs even faster. By the way, if you're joining me, I'm just stirring right now. If you're listening to the soft melodic sound of my voice, we are just stirring during the joke time here. So then the guy backs up even further, runs even faster, hits that bell even harder, and sure enough, it rings even louder. And the priest was really impressed, but it wasn't quite loud enough. So the priest said, you know, it's really good, and you almost have the job. I just need you to be able to ring it just a little bit louder. So the guy backs up all the way to the other end of the bell tower, and he runs as fast as he can. He hits that bell with his head, and he hits it so hard that the bell actually swings upward, and the guy runs out, and he falls over the ledge, and he falls all the way to the ground and smack, and he hits himself on the cement and dies. And there's a bunch of people come and gather around, and they see this poor dead man with no arms that just fell out of the church bell tower, and the priest runs down all the stairs and finally gets down there. And everybody's like, oh my goodness, what happened? And who is he? And the priest looked at him and said, you know, in all of this, I don't know who he is. But I tell you what, his face sure rings a bell. Oh my goodness, I wish I could hear all the laughter right now. It's so hard to do stand-up comedy with one person.
So bad.
I don't know, but his face sure rings a bell.
No, his face sure rings a bell.
And it does. All right, so what I'm going to do...
Oh, you lost like 20 people.
I lost what? Everybody's barely
I'm
on
the
the
funny
cooking
one.
show.
I'm just kidding.
So try your peppers right now. Right now our cooking goal is to get our peppers cooked down. You know, you could have used less peppers than what I did. Still really good. The chicken is so moist. I'm going to go ahead, because of the amount of peppers, I'm going to add in the rest of that seasoning. All right, so I'm adding in my rub mix to this. Mix it in really well. Make sure that you get that heated up so it kills off any potential salmonella there. Okay. We're going to heat that up. And I'm also going to add in a little bit, just based upon my tasting it. And again, taste it and let me know what you think it needs. But I'm going to add in a little bit more of the Southwest seasoning or the taco seasoning, just because of the volume of peppers I added. So I'm going to add some more of that in. And then I'm going to also add in a little bit more paprika. It's going to give me that little bit of a smoky flavor that I like, smoky Mexican flavor.
You got some laughing faces.
I got some laughing faces.
Jane agrees with me. That was bad, dude.
All right. So if you notice here, as you're doing this, you've got like a liquid in the bottom, and that's as the peppers are releasing some of their liquid, you end up with that. That liquid, by the way, in the bottom, I just want to tell you, is really tasty. So if you're just, for instance, if you just want to eat this, you can. You could put this in a lettuce wrap, and you could eat this as a fajita itself. Cabbage works a little bit better as a like a tortilla replacement. So this is the sauce, okay? It's just delicious. I mean, and we didn't specifically make sauce, but we made a sauce by what we're doing. It's really good.
That's good.
So we got that sauce in there. And that's part of what gives us the flavor then as we are going to be putting this on top of our salad. While I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead with my salad that I've already got cut up. This is romaine lettuce already cut up for me here. And I'm going to go ahead and add my cucumbers onto this. My tomatoes that I diced up ahead of time. Whoops. That was kind of nice how I just kind of clumped them right there. Spread out our tomatoes here. Our jalapenos will spread out as well. All right, our onions. Spread these guys out on there. Wow, look at how pretty that looks. If you're not on the Lose It stage of our program, you could put some avocado on there. That would be delicious. You could drizzle some olive oil on top of that. That would also be awesome. So lots of different things you can do, but you can see our nice, pretty salad.
Hold on.
Very, very
So
nice.
nice.
All right. And then we will add some salt and pepper, but we're going to just add those individually in our bowls for taste. All right, mixing up our veggies one more time. We are just about ready to rock and roll. I'm going to go ahead and try one of these peppers again. See if they're nicely cooked. They need just a little bit more. So I'm going to turn up the heat. Now that I got plenty of liquid on the bottom, my chances of burning it are much less. So I'm going to turn up the heat, mix a little bit more vigorously, and finish cooking off those. If you had a top for this, this would help as well. So if you were putting a lid on this, you would probably be done. So try your peppers. If they taste like fajita peppers, then you know you're good to go. If they need a little bit more time, then you can put them in for a little bit more time. And while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and grab our bowls that we will be using for our meal and portion out some salad here. Okay, so just getting some salad here, some salad tongs. Okay. By the way, the smaller that you make the, the smaller that you cut the salad. So let me just show you here. Like this is a lot more enjoyable. The smaller that you cut the salad, the better it is. It's just easier to deal with, and you're going to find that it's a lot. The salad itself just tastes better, even though the taste is the same. So I try to, as much as possible, cut up my romaine lettuce as small as possible because it just gives me a better taste. Man, avocados on this would just be awesome, awesome. All right, we probably are close to being done here. I'm going to give this one more mix. We got some nice bubbling going on here. Nice smells going on here. You can see how cooked down we are now. So we're gonna look at all of that stuff. Very, very, very good. Try one of these peppers again. Okay. There we go. Now we're good. All right. So we're good to go. So we're going to serve this, and you could serve this cold as well, but we're going to serve this hot because it's going to remind us a little bit more of the fajita. So we've got our lettuce bowls. Move some stuff around. There we go. Okay, so we got our lettuce bowls here. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our fajita mix. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Perfect. And then we're going to top it off with a little bit of salsa. If I have a spoon. This will work. I'm going to top it off with a little bit of salsa here. And the salsa is going to kind of serve, between the salsa and the fajita vegetables themselves, it will serve as kind of like a dressing. And then I'm going to finish it with some nutritional yeast, which I have to get a new one out because I use so much of this stuff. Finish it off with some nutritional yeast. Like that. Like that. And a fork. Sorry, I forgot to grab a fork ahead of time. It's maybe tricky. Whoa! There we go. All right, got my fork, and we almost lost the camera. All right, so let's try this together here. So I'm gonna get a nice bite that's got like a little bit of everything in it. All right, we on this one here? You can see that's a great bite, nice and tasty. So delicious. It's just like fajitas without the tortilla. So let us know what you think. We're gonna read some comments here. See what we got going on. I love it.
Nina saying, keep the cute jokes coming. Cucumbers with the salsa is a great idea. Never thought of that.
Right? Excellent, Nina. Glad we could help out with that.
Mary saying, another great cooking demo. Thanks to both of you.
Mm-hmm.
You're so welcome.
You guys are so welcome.
Enjoy putting this together for everybody.
Yeah, and we're join us tonight. You think we could have our update by 9? Maybe.
Maybe.
We're gonna try to update. We get score updates and just some clarifications for everybody tonight at 9 or around 9. So join us again tonight to see how everybody's doing on our contest and just get some clarity. So that way, if you've missed a couple things, you're still able to get the points for them because you can go back and make up some of those things. So.
Yeah, the goal is to have like the top 5 of who is in the runner-up for.
Welcome to the show.
No, I'm talking. I want to make sure that you guys know who's been like the Miss Congeniality most participating person in here, so you guys can win those gift cards along with the Noble Networker, who is in like the top 5. So I want to make sure we
want to let you guys know who's in the top 5. We're not going to tell you who's winning. We're going to tell you who's in the top 5 so that you can keep going and try to win those gift cards.
Yeah, and if you are participating in our 20-day challenge, I'll make a post to make sure that I know who you are so I can go and check your social media posts so you're posting correctly. Basically, just post what you've eaten or the creation that you've made and tag VitaLife. I've created a post about that, so
wonderful.
If you have any questions, just let me know.
Well, thanks again for joining us here as we're cooking together. And remember that today is the perfect day to live a vital life.